Hey everybody, so it's Brits here, and we are going to dive into a super cool topic, which is going to be a list of the weird kind of different things or that I either do or make at home, like a do-it-yourself style, and why I choose to do them. So I'm not actually going to be showing you guys each and every one of them. You'll know why when you hear the list. Some of them are like kind of out there and you can't just pull them off in any moment in time all at the same time for one video. But I think these are really cool things to consider for people who have had bad experiences with these things like outside of the house, and also ways to be healthier, detox your body, keep your body healthier and all that stuff. But I wanted to share in this video with you guys something really cool. So there's a lot of things that I do or make at home or do it myself style because I've either had bad experiences getting these services or products or treatments or whatever done outside of the house, or because buying these things commercially expose your body to a lot more toxins and stuff like that. So these are some beauty, self-care, everyday practices or hacks that I always freaking do at home, okay? And I have sometimes not done them at home. I'll give some examples and it turns out so bad, okay? So anyways, I'm gonna just kind of dive into these things. Maybe it helps you, maybe it doesn't, but if some of you guys have been wanting to be healthier and just basically glow up, feel better, expose your body to less toxins. There's a lot we can't control, but we might as well control the stuff we can, you know what I mean? These are things that I always do at home and how I do them, and that a lot of people are like, oh my God, how do you do this or how do you do that? This is how I do these things. So I'm obviously not going to be enacting all of them out in this video because, well, it would be virtually impossible to actually do all of these things at the same time in a video. I'd have to have a table full of products and not have already gotten ready for the day and be, anyway, you'll see what I mean when I tell you guys the list. They can't just all be done on the spot. But if you guys ever want videos where I show you guys specifically how to do some of these things, if you don't know how or whatever, then I can totally do videos on that stuff. So you guys let me know, because I'm planning on posting more like travel stuff, food reviews, the things that people are always kind of asking me, but that I don't really do in my business, right? That's more health and disease focused. This is going to be more my everyday life, things I do, things that have leveled up my health, made a huge difference, ways I overcome emotional stuff, even potentially relationship stuff. So, okay, so let's dive in. That was a big intro. Number one, weird things that I do at home. And what inspired me doing this video is that your girl did it this morning. Yes, I did. She done gave herself a haircut. You guys can see it up close. You can even see the back. And just ignore my crazy background. I'm packing and maybe moving house, so there's a lot going on with bins and everything. But well, I live in a little cottage in the middle of a fog forest, so this is the best we can do. But this is my own do-it-yourself haircut, okay? So I have had so many haircuts and hairstyles over the years. You guys know if you followed me, I'm like a chameleon. I'm changing all the time. Now in older years, I prefer hair texture quality over cool colors. And I also dye my hair with things that don't allow you to bleach it and stuff afterwards. But I would rather have healthy, silky, nice hair in my natural color than beautiful highlights that add texture and stuff, even though I love the look of those things. So I pretty much just do my own haircuts and I don't really ever go to salons. But because I went really short for the last couple of years, if you guys are on my Instagram, you'll see my hair was mad short for a while. I went from very long to very, very short, overnight. And then I kept it short for quite a while. Actually, I'm growing it back out now. But anyways, while it was growing, I went and decided to get a haircut. Okay. And the girl gave me the worst haircut. And for the last 6 months, I've hated my hair. It's been so bad. Really so bad. So I decided to just start cutting my hair again. And then I remembered I used to always cut my own hair. And I just literally should never go to a salon again because I don't like it. So depending on what kind of haircuts you do, you don't have to cut your hair at home. And I'm not an elaborate hairdresser. I have no idea how to do haircuts, but I do video tutorial haircuts and I'm really careful and scrupulous. I do Brad Mondo or this other guy where you put ponytails and then you cut your hair. It's nothing fancy and crazy. If you guys are ever interested in exactly the hairstyle I do, it's somewhere mixed between a shag, a butterfly cut, and a very gentle, non too hardcore mullet free, like wolf cut style vibes. Okay, so I play around with like where I put the ponytail depending how I want it to be, but I do everything, like my own face framing, like all that stuff. And every time I do my own haircut, I'm like always happy with it. And whenever I go get a haircut that I don't like and they leave like choppy layers or thin it too much or anything like that, I 100% of the time go home and like do my own cut over it and like fix the ugliness that they did. So doing my own hair, I've been doing for a really long time. I've even done crazy ass stuff. Like I remember, oh my God, this one was bad. So I had really long, beautiful hair, okay, years ago. I'd grown it out, like all this stuff. I was feeling like, oh my God, my hair is so nice. Finally, it was like all natural. And then I went through like a terrible kind of like breakup or something. I don't know. I was just like having a bad self-esteem moment. Okay. So I decided to like boost myself to feel better by going blonde. Okay. I don't know. Like blonde is not for me. It looks so bad. But I decided to go freaking blonde and bleach off all my hair. But at this time I'm living in Tulum, Mexico. And can I tell you, with the salty water, the sewage water, chronic beach, salty air, having bleached hair in that climate, my hair's naturally curly, nightmare. Okay, my hair was like a frizzy mop. Some girl that pretended she was a hairdresser came to my house. It wasn't even, because everybody in Tulum pretends they have skill sets and they don't. Beware of Mexico in that regard. Everybody's like a guru and they're all creeps. I'm just kidding. There's really cool people there, but there are a lot of like questionable folks. Okay. A lot of people are like nomads and they like pretend to be things and then they like go and cut hair, but they like don't know how to do it and stuff like that. So anyway, this girl like didn't know how to do hair properly. She bleached the living F. She left the bleach way too long on one side. Half my hair fell out. It was horrible. Okay. So I had this horrible blonde hair that I didn't want to cut because I had grown it all out, but I was miserable with it. And then one day I got so fed up and I just wanted hair that didn't feel like a rat's nest and was so frizzy and just looked like fried, you know? So I took the entire thing, stuck it at the top of my head and just cut it like this short, boom, and gave myself the world's craziest wolf cut. I just cut all the blonde out in one go and it was just like crazy, okay? And then I was like so happy to have that crazy, hideous, self-done hairstyle just because it took out the blonde. But anyway, I have so many crazy hair stories, but I finally nailed like a kind of haircut that like works really well for me. And then this, if it just like grows out, will be like really cute anyways. And I could like redo it if I want shorter layers. It's very easy. It takes like 5 minutes. I just literally never go to salons anymore. So that was number one. Let's do hair while we're on the topic of hairs. Okay, let me knock out my list stuff here. I color my own grays, so I don't have a ton of grays, but I get a little bit of grays like here, you know, and like a couple like here and stuff. I'm messing up my own hair now. And I've done my own grays for a really long time. I'm super, super, super lazy. And because I don't have a lot of grays, I have them just like here, kind of, and only a couple there. I really only do them every like many months. Oh, you came back in. There's a butterfly that came inside my house, was trapped. Actually, like 15 bees also came in my house this morning. I don't know if there's like a nest nearby or something, but I had to manually take all of them out like in a little cup. And then the butterfly came in and like I trapped her, put her outside, and now there's like another one in 5 minutes later. I'm always trapping insects and taking them out. That's what happens when you live in the forest, people. But yeah, so I've been doing my own roots forever, okay? So I can't speak for every hair color. Like doing your own roots if you're blonde might be a little more challenging. You can look into like cassia, I think, mixed with maybe like henna or indigo or something. I mean, maybe not henna because it's red, but like you'll have to look into it if you're blonde. I can only speak for brunettes. But I have been doing the 2-step henna and indigo powder, not pre-mixed products, not like Lush bars, like nothing like that. Like just pure 100% henna powder, 100% indigo powder, oftentimes organic. Sometimes I order on Amazon. Sometimes I get from like Henna Guys. Sometimes I get from, what's the company? Like Red Raj, I forget. But anyway, there's like this girl that makes all these like organic things. So I get those products, and like every 3 months when I'm in the mood to blow a day at home, like looking hideous with like goop all over my head and I'm just like doing home stuff, then I will do my roots. And like it turns out freaking amazing. Now, the only thing if you use henna indigo is you're never gonna be able to bleach your hair again. Okay, so if you don't wanna go natural, you don't have dark hair, then it'll be a bit more challenging. My sisters both have lighter hair than I do. And one of them also does henna and stuff. I think the other one dyes with chemical because she's like too lazy or something. But you can mix henna and indigo in different ratios and even add like cassia if you want a more neutral tone to create the color you want. So you guys can like ChatGPT it, look it up online, like for your exact color scheme. I only know for me the 2-step of, because my hair is so dark, it's virtually black. Like, I don't know if you guys can see this, but it's like the darkest brown that there is before being black. Like my eyebrows basically. So I just put henna, leave it on for like 3 hours. I mix it with water, a little bit of apple cider vinegar. I let it like marinate for 2 hours before I put it on so the color can come out. Then I leave it in my hair for 3 hours, wash it really well. It's a nightmare. I don't shampoo or anything. And I immediately mix indigo powder with water, just that to make a paste. And I put that on my roots. I leave it for 1 to 2 hours, usually 2. And then I rinse everything out and I don't wash it for 2 days. And then when I wash it finally, it like keeps getting darker. When I finally wash it, it's the perfect color. So for me, I love this. It's natural. My hair is shiny. It's gorgeous. It's healthy. At this point, 100% of my hair over the years now has henna and indigo. So even though it's my natural color, it's enforced with that because it's been my grays over, I don't know, 5 years that I've been like doing every few months, right? And at the length of hair I have now, most of it has been dyed at some point. But I find it like does not damage your hair integrity. Your hair is soft, it's silky, it's thick. Like I have not had a single split end in my hair. I mean, like not one split end. That's another one, guys. I trim all my own splits when I have them. So I do like the twist technique. But this one is a bit more detail. I could probably do this one on camera. I twist, this is a small part, and I go really close and then I just cut any splits that I see, okay? So I do that for a lot of my friends and stuff too. Like we'll have like a girls' day and I'll just like cut their splits while we like put music and stuff. I'm not a hairdresser. I just like doing fun girly things. And so, yeah, so that's something that you can do as well, cut your own splits. But anyway, since I stopped bleaching, dyeing, or adding any sort of chemical to my hair whatsoever, I don't even use products. I don't use, like when I blow dry, it's naked. I don't add oils. I don't add heat protectant. Like I don't add anything chemical. I think all that stuff makes your hair shady quality. That's just my experience. Like I've never had such silky, beautiful hair. Like, I mean, I'm not born with like a huge amount of hair, but my hair, trust me, looks the best like it ever has in terms of texture. And I do nothing. Okay. And I wash it like once a week only. And I leave it curly quite a bit as well when I want to just like grow it out or whatever. But yeah, so if you want your hair to grow fast and be the most beautiful like possible, ditch the chemicals, do your own roots. Your hair quality will be so much better. It'll be shinier, beautiful, like stronger, more resilient. I know you can do light browns with like henna indigo. You just have to mix henna and indigo in your 2-step. There's many ways to do it, but essentially I absolutely love it and I've been doing it for a really long time and I haven't had any splits. I never have to cut my hair while I'm growing it out. It's been 2 times now. This is the second where I went from my hair like this short to this. And the first time my hair was also like this long or even like here, and it grew to very long and I never had to trim it once the whole time it grew because there was never a single split end because it was 100% natural. So when your hair is natural, it really doesn't split very easily if you brush it nicely and take care of it and stuff. And I don't do any hair care, okay? Just as like so you guys know, I don't do anything special. I never do conditioning treatments. Like it would pull out the henna anyway. I never use any kind of products. Like I don't know. I literally don't do anything. I don't do hair masks. Like I don't put my hair in a bonnet to sleep. Like I'm literally like at the beach, like working out, like in a bun, ripping out my elastic, like zero care or carefulness with my hair. And I always have like some measure of rat's nest in the back, like, cause when I sleep and I turn and like, I'm in the grass rolling around, I don't know, like I'm more rough and tumble in my everyday life. So even having such nice hair, it's zero maintenance. Okay. So go natural. My recommendation is to go natural. It'll be way less work and you can get like your roots covered and everything with natural products. So anyway. The next thing that I make or do at home all the time myself, for the most part, there are exceptions. Like sometimes I'll buy like coconut cream in a can that has nothing but coconut and water. But for the most part, I make my own nut milks. Okay. And I don't, even though I'm not a vegan at this point in life, I do eat dairy and stuff like that, like here and there. I'm not a big dairy fan and I especially don't like milk. Like I've never liked milk, the taste of milk, like in a latte or something. I don't like the taste of cow like dairy. I would prefer like cashew milk or pumpkin seed milk or coconut milk, like in my matcha or whatever, or in a latte, like any day. I even love more coconut, like milk based ice creams than regular traditional ice cream. Like there's an exception if the cream is like really good quality and they use more cream than milk, I like it more. But I just don't like that dairy taste. Like I don't like cheeses that are mild, like I don't know, mozzarella, like unless it's like in a lasagna or something. I prefer like strong, pungent, more like that doesn't taste so cheese. Like I don't know how to explain it, but doesn't taste so like dairy. Like I don't like brie, like things like that, you know? So I make my own nut milks. Now, if you are into the healthiest milk on earth, I would recommend making your own like pumpkin seed milk in the plant world, or coconut milk is really, really good. Or if you, walnut milk also, like health-wise, I mean. Or you could even do like unpasteurized milk, let's say from like a farm or something, if it's really well sourced and safe, you know. But I just personally don't like the taste of that. I use it just for kefir and things. But I make my own nut milks. It's so freaking easy to do. There isn't like a precise recipe. I've put like a lot of the recipes that I use at home in recipe books that I have for free for tribe members in the platform, or they sell in my shop, like fully fermented, like all these things, like my like fully nourished, I think, fully guilt-free for desserts, like there's a bunch of those. But it's so easy, you guys. You can even look up a recipe online. I basically just put roughly a cup of whatever nut or seed I'm using, soak it in water for, I don't know, 4 to 8 hours, rinse it really, really well. If you want your nut milk to last really long and you're not like raw and you don't care to be raw, you can very quickly rinse it with hot or boiling water. That will kill bacteria on it. And your nut milk will last like a week in the fridge instead of just like 3 or 4 days. But it's much healthier if you don't do that and you actually just leave the biome of the food on it for your gut and everything. So I usually don't ever do that. But then I use my strained like seeds. I stick them in a Vitamix or high-speed blender. And then I basically just add water to the top of the blender. Usually it's like, I don't know, 1.5 liters of water, something like that, a liter maybe. Blend it and strain. And then I use these nut milks like in my recipes and stuff. So I don't use a lot of nut milk in general, like for oats or things. Like I just use water. I'm like very lazy. But nut milk, there's something I have every day. Well, actually, I haven't for like 2 weeks because I ran out of matcha and I was waiting for my matcha to come in. But I love making sacred elixirs. Actually, this is a video I can do another time that is like, I think, going to be really helpful for people. I make these kind of videos like in my platform all the time. How to add joy to your life, like ways to like celebrate your life, ways to make little things feel really magical and really special in your life. Like people call it romanticizing your life. That term's like a bit more cheese and cringe, but just like, you know, life can get very mundane. You get up in the morning, you're packing your kids to school, you're taking them to school, you're going to work for the day, you're coming back, you're picking up, you're making dinner, you're bathing the kids, you're going to bed, assuming you have kids. And even if you don't, life is mundane. You're going to the grocery store, you're going here, you're going to your yoga class, like, you know, there's not so many moments that feel like a vacation or a celebration. That's why so many people love to vacation or travel. It's like they're like escaping their life. Anyway, I'm like going a bit on a tangent, but if you guys want videos about that, about how to like make each moment of your life really special. But anyways, I make my maple syrup with like amber pure maple syrup, my matcha latte, like whenever I can, when I'm home. And it's one of my favorite things. It's actually one of the things on this list that I guess we can just list off here, is I always make my own, like for the most part, matchas and teas. I almost never get teas when I'm out unless I'm like in a coffee shop or something. And the only beverage I'll ever get out, which I drink, I think like twice a year or something, because I never feel good when I drink it, even though I love it, is like a coffee or something. Like I'll get like a latte or like a frap or something like that when I'm out. But for the most part, I don't. And I would even make that at home, because I don't like the boxed milks and things that they use if you like lattes. I don't like the sugary syrup ads, like the shit quality stuff they use. Even like healthy places that make matcha latte, they're using like agave. I would much rather use like maple syrup or honey. It has way more nutrition than agave. It's kind of like an empty fructose product. It's still better than white sugar, but it's like not amazing. For me, maple syrup has way more nutrition. Also, I'm Canadian from Montreal. We are the maple capital of the world. I love maple. I could like drink maple. I could eat maple on everything. Like I'm just a maple girl, okay? So those are the kind of things I make at home, is like drink elixirs or even smoothies with nut milks as a base versus getting smoothies in restaurants. They never get the synergy right. It always tastes really bland and like crappy. Like I really like things that just taste like heaven is going on in your mouth, okay? Like if I'm gonna eat something, I want it to be epic. If I go to a restaurant and take a bite of dessert or something and it's like totally mediocre and not good, I'll take like 2-3 bites just to like get the sugar craving over, but I'm not gonna eat the whole thing. You know, if it's like decadent, melt in your mouth, delicious, like I'm happy to eat 3, you know? So it's like, it has to be worth it. You know, like I'm not eat like a cheap Mae West kind of girl. I want like melt in your mouth, brown butter melted, or like, I don't know, cocoa bliss, like creamy, like just so good. Like things that like when you eat it, you're just like, I've arrived. This is worth like the fat ass and calories, you know, or worth the pimples or whatever like sugar does for people. It has to be like heaven in my mouth. So I like to make heaven in my mouth beverages at home because I find most restaurants and things suck at it. And I just like can make like a 4 or 5 ingredient smoothie with the right synergy that is like blow your mind, you know? And I've shared a lot of these recipes on my platform, but like it could be really basic, like half a banana, coconut oil, homemade coconut, or like almond milk, you know, wild blueberries, blue spirulina, and like a little bit of maple syrup. Like it sounds like it's like a random mix of stuff. It's like blueberry heaven, like ice cream, okay? Like the scheist is delicious. So things like that, okay? That can be simple, but I tend to make nut milk smoothies and those kind of things at home myself. The next is mixed electrolyte drinks. Now, I actually buy an electrolyte powder. I'm 0% sponsored, although if this company wanted to sponsor me, I literally spend a lot of money on this product. I love it. Is Relight flavored electrolytes. I like it because I live in a hot climate. I need to consume quite a bit of salt and electrolytes to not like get chronic headaches living in like the South. I've always been a person who just doesn't do that great in like extremely hot weather. I don't like sweating all day. I don't really like sweating at all. Even when I work out just before the sweating point. I know that's not great for health, but I'm just, yeah, like I don't like to be losing always my electrolytes. I like my brain works really fast. I need quite a bit of sodium and stuff. So I drink electrolytes every single day. I actually have one of my electrolyte elixirs right here. Actually, I could do another video for you guys, but I put stickers on my water with codes, like frequency healing codes. I might do this on my other channel, actually in my platform, because I feel like it'll get taken down. But they're like frequency codes that manifest specific things in your life. So if you want more money or a glow up or more love in your life or more success in your career or whatever else, you can actually put like codes to that. I could always like share those codes somewhere for you guys if you want. That's a really cool video. And it totally works and like is kind of a game changer, and it charges your water. At least I like to believe that. Who knows? But anyway, so I make my own electrolytes. So I use Relight electrolytes because I find the Element flavor has way too much maltodextrin. I think there's still a tiny amount in Relight, but I've never had any issues drinking it, and there's no blood sugar fluctuations or anything. I like the mango flavor and watermelon lime. Those are my favorite. The berry one is like okay too. The other ones I'm not a fan. I've like tried them all. Like the pina colada and all that, like I don't like it, but everybody's got a different flavor profile. But anyways, you could also just make your own like snake juice or your own like mix with like potassium chloride, magnesium, bisglycinate or glycinate, and like a salt, you know, high quality salt or something, and make your own unflavored one. But I like to have joy in life. So I like the flavored ones. Okay, I'm willing to put up with a little like whatever's in there, dextrose or something, like at a minute amount per scoop. And so I put my scoop of, right now I have mango, but like, or watermelon lime, a liter of water. I put chlorophyll drops inside because I just like the pretty color. If not, I put some blue spirulina. If not, I put some humic fulvic. So, and it's like a black drink, like it just sort of depends. And I drink that like at least once a day. So I don't buy pre-made electrolyte drinks ever. Like you guys already know, like a lot of companies are like garbage, but here they're really big on things like electrolyte and like stuff like that. I don't ever like consume any of that stuff. It's sugar. It's like really crappy electrolytes. It's all chemicalized, tons of like, you know, shady ingredients, heavy metals in there. I always make my own electrolytes, and I recommend drinking electrolytes every single day, unless a person is literally like a raw vegan or eating like a super optimal diet, which I'm just too lazy to do all the time. Like I just want to live my life and have fun and eat whatever I'm in the mood for without worrying if I'm hitting all my targets. And instead I like to supplement with a few key things that I know are like kind of not in my diet. That's another video I could do, the supplements I take and why. Because I do take a few things that are like game changer. And, but yeah, so I make my own electrolyte water. I love it. Sometimes I do 2 liters of this a day if I'm in the mood for something sweet and juicy, but I don't actually want to like make a juice or something. But many times I just do 1, but I always make my own electrolytes, and I always drink electrolytes at home. Like I make my own potion, even if the mix is bought. I like to like put a bunch of different things in it. Sometimes I put different minerals. Sometimes I put like boron drops. Sometimes I put molybdenum drops, trace mineral drops, like zinc drops, you know, like whatever I'm wanting to supplement in that moment, I will often add to it as well. And these days I'm not really doing anything except the chlorophyll. The next thing that I always make myself is deodorant. So I have gotten so lazy over the years, and now I use a form of deodorant that is just the easiest ever. But I also have pretty resilient armpit skin. Okay, like, I don't know if you guys can see. I don't get those like brown patches that usually are related to like insulin resistance. I don't get irritated in the armpits, and I actually have almost no armpit hair, and I got armpit laser like, I don't know, 5 years ago for like the 6 hairs that I had. Call me the luckiest person in the world. I don't know why. I'm hairy in other places, I can assure you. But for some reason, my armpits just never had a lot of hair. It was like 4 hairs here, like I swear, okay? I could have like just left it if I was okay with scraggles or just like trimmed it. But anyway, I got laser for my like 8 hairs, okay? And haven't touched it or done anything ever since, and I just don't have a single hair there. If there is, it's like peach fuzz, you can't even see. So I don't shave regularly. Like my personal deodorant technique in this moment might irritate your skin if you are shaving, so I'll give you an alternative for that. But essentially, I just put water after my shower, and I just slap baking soda on it and rub it in until it's like kind of falling everywhere. And I just use baking soda. I still sweat. I still have like juicy armpits, and I quite literally like never smell. Like I could leave it 24 hours, I could sweat at the gym, I could do all the filthiest stuff. Maybe after 24 hours, I'll have like the faintest smell. Like if your nostril is like in my pit, like in there, like, you know what I mean? You might smell like a little bit of like human vitality going on. But for the most part, no, not really. Even if I sweat compulsively, even if I'm at the beach and I'm like in the ocean, I'm still not gonna have smelly armpits. It just like totally changes the pH of your pit, and bad bacteria don't grow there, and you just don't have stinky armpits, okay? And I am a person who, if I sweat heavily, I have a bit of a smell. Like I'm not one of those people who like is smellless, you know? But I don't have strong armpit smell, like horribly strong. But anyway, so I just use plain baking soda these days because I'm lazy. But if you're looking for a product you can buy that's really natural, I think it's like Schmidt company. They have like a magnesium charcoal baking soda coconut oil based like bars. I think the pina colada one's like really good too. Or like pineapple, I forget which one it is, but I used to use those, okay? But now I'm just too lazy. I use plain baking soda. Or you could make your own deodorant. Like if you are more sensitive, you can play around with using jojoba oil or shea butter, or like a coconut oil, or some kind of oil first before you put the baking soda. Or you could even make like a paste with a little bit of like baking soda, some drops of like an essential oil you like lemon or orange, and then like coconut oil, and then maybe you can put like arrowroot powder, which is more like matte and absorbent. You know, you can like play around and make your own. But I've always, like, I mean, since I think like 23 or something, since I learned all about toxicity, and I think even way before that, maybe like 18, I read a book called The 100-Year Lie about all the chemicals, and just like threw out all my products and went crazy. I went crazy, girl. That's when I started being like, you know, vanilla mom or whatever, who isn't a mom, but is it vanilla mom? Or what do they call it? Almond mom or something? They call when you're like super alternative, and like anti-chemicals and stuff. But anyway, I was like that at 18. And so I think by my mid-20s, I like never used commercial deodorant anymore, like pretty much ever. Let me see if, okay, sorry, I'm getting calls, so I want to make sure it didn't interrupt the video. And yeah, I find like it like nice then, you know, to just not have the chemicals. Like it actually works effectively and super easy, super cheap. And now it's even easier because I literally don't do anything. I just put baking soda and it just works amazing. So I haven't bought a commercial deodorant in like, I don't know, over 15 years, I think. Maybe that Schmidt brand here and there if I'm like traveling and forgot my baking soda. But yeah, it works really, really amazing. Perfumes, okay? So I have been using my own natural perfumes for so long, and the only exception is when I was living in Tulum, there was this health shop called Tierra Madre. If you guys ever go there, check it out. It's freaking awesome. And they basically had a like a perfume that was just water or alcohol and essential oils, and it smelled like peach cobbler. Okay, it was like amazing, and they discontinued it, and I was so freaking sad. So anyway, since then, since like years now, I've been making my own perfumes. Sometimes I get real fancy and I use like ylang ylang and like vanilla essential oil or like those kind of things in like water, and I'll play around, or I'll use like orange essential oil and vanilla, like smells like orange creamsicle, and I'll actually make like a spray. But these days I'm so incredibly lazy. I actually go to specialty shops or even order online 100% natural and organic fruit or vanilla based like essential oils. They're like oil of the fruit basically. So I have strawberry. I tried cherry, but it gave me like a weird reaction. I like don't do that great with cherries in life. Like I like them, but I don't eat them a lot. And yeah, and I don't love the smell of cherries. But anyway, strawberry. I have orange. I have kiwi. I think I have like guayaba. And like vanilla, okay? And I also have one called coffee. So it's basically the essential oil of coffee beans, and it smells like a French vanilla coffee shop, okay? So I play around with different ones of those, and I literally put a little cream sometimes or just the essential oil straight. Again, I don't have super sensitive skin with that stuff. Like I can put essential oils on my skin and it's not gonna like fry unless it's oregano or thyme or something, but the fruity ones especially. So yeah, I basically just like put a few drops of it and like rub it everywhere as soon as I like move it through my hair. And every single time I go out, people are like, oh my God, you smell freaking delicious. Like you do, especially the strawberry one. If you can find strawberry essential oil, freaking game changer. But I absolutely love it. I love fruity smells. It's super natural. It's good for your skin. It's high vibrational. If you like more floral scents, you can use like rose or geranium. Get essential oils of like orchid, like I don't know, whatever plants you like. I love the smell of, I don't know if they make essential oil of this, but I love lily of the valley flowers. Like, oh my God, I love the smell of lily of the valley flowers. I would totally wear that perfume. But I'm less into floral scents. Like I find it smells more like medicinal or something. Like I've never been a big floral scent person for me, and more into like fruity French vanilla, like the more like fruity kind of vibe. So I use my own perfumes, but I really recommend making your own perfume. Number one, commercial perfumes are so overpowering. They have like artificial pheromones from animals. They're toxic. They throw off your like pH of your skin. They're like chemicalized. So, and you're putting the smell of like someone else's or something else's pheromones, and you're gonna like attract the wrong people. I'm like all about letting nature do its thing. I want my natural scent to come through because I don't want to be like attracting people in my life that I wouldn't be compatible with romantically or whatever else. And so, yeah, and I just don't want to add chemicals or toxins to my body. That's just my personal preference. So I don't like using synthetic things. Like I know there's some trend now people keep asking me about like pheromone spray where like girls are spraying it and like their boyfriends are going feral. I would like never use this. First of all, your boyfriend's going feral over like animal pheromones. Like that in itself is like weird, you know? I'm not trying to like do weird things to men's brains. So yeah, I just leave things very natural, and that's just my personal preference. The next thing that I do that's kind of random, this one's not necessarily a beauty practice, I do a lot of my own sewing. So my father was actually he was a clothing designer, and he had a huge clothing store called A&B Jeans in Montreal years ago. I'm pretty sure it's a Centre Hi-Fi, kind of like a Best Buy now. It was a huge 3-floor store, like really, really cool. He had it all throughout the 80s, 90s. It was like also his father's like joint business. He ended up selling it, I think like in the early 2000s. And anyways, but he himself was like a designer, and they had like I don't want to say like a sweatshop in the basement, but like kind of, except they were paid and they were like from Montreal, you know, but also he gave a lot of immigrants jobs and stuff. But anyway, and there was always like people with sewing machines. So I actually know how to operate sewing machines. Obviously I don't go around with sewing machine. And I'm not the best hand sewer, I'll be honest. Even with sewing machine, I'm not like the best, but I do know how to do it. So I don't like tailor my own clothes real fancy, but let's say my strap breaks, I'm just gonna sew it back on myself. If my pocket in my jean gets loose, or like my partners or friends or whatever, I'm gonna sew their pocket hole, you know? If a shirt is like really too big, I'm gonna cut it, pinch it in, and like sew it myself. So I'm more like handy with sewing. Or if I want something to be like pinched in the back or whatever else, or like a belt, like a hoop on pants or shorts or something breaks, I can sew those things back on. So I really recommend, like I I can always do a video showing you guys how to sew if you don't know how, but it's such an amazing skill set because I remember back in the day when I didn't sew, I would like be throwing stuff out all the time or giving it away or like having to go pay like seamstresses, and half the time they like didn't do it properly. And sometimes you go to wear something like, or I order something online and let's say it's like one of these behind the neck tops, but it's too like large. It doesn't have an ability to like tighten or something. I can just like cut the material and sew it, you know, or fold it over and sew it and wear that top like 15 minutes later versus like not be able to wear that for the day. So I find it like really nice actually and really convenient. I'm also, this is like unrelated topic, but I was really, really into knitting when I was younger, and also things with like yarn, you know, like making like cool like necklaces. Like I had like weird like hobbies when I was a teenager that were kind of like fun. And so, yeah, anyways, and I learned how to sew kind of around that time. So I've been like sewing my own stuff for quite a while, and I really recommend learning how to hand sew. Because like, for example, like, so there's people in my life who don't know, and every minute they're like, can you sew this for me? Can you sew this for me? But like, if you know how to do it yourself, you could be like in a hotel room and about to go to a wedding and your strap breaks. And, you know, I mean, hopefully your strap doesn't break at your own damn wedding. But like, you know, even if it did, you could sew it quickly, you know, and even if it's not perfect, like no one can tell. So learning how to sew, I can always show you guys how to do it. It's actually so freaking easy. And you can sew in a way where the outside of the shirt won't show the imperfections and the inside might look like weird, but who cares? You know what I mean? No one's like looking on the inside of the top, like, what's going on in there? You know? So yeah, sewing is something that I do myself. The next is facials. Okay. So facials is a really big one. I used to have absolutely horrifying acne, also eczema and psoriasis, all kinds of stuff, okay? But on my face, really bad acne. I have had every type of acne from cystic and nodular and like, and whiteheads and blackheads and just lumps and bumps and like nightmare, okay? I still get the occasional pimple when I go really ham on sugar and like sleep 3 hours and like I'm traveling and have eaten nothing but like seed oils and shitty restaurant food. And yes, I do live like that sometimes. Or if I've been like incredibly stressed or eaten a metric F ton of like pasteurized dairy, like pizza and then lasagna and then ice cream and then like haven't eaten a vegetable in a month, you know, it happens. Then yes, I'll still get pimples or like right before my period or during my ovulation window. I get like 1, 2, maybe like one on my chin, like one on my forehead. I might even have like one now. Do I? I have no idea. Maybe it's going away. But yeah, so every now and then I still get pimples, but it's like really only when my lifestyle is like relatively atrocious or I eat things that I know my body's not happy with in like massive excess, you know? So yeah, but my skin used to be absolutely horrible and I was so freaking desperate to like, I had so many, like now my skin is like really clear. You can see like I still have like my freckles and things like that. But yeah, like, and I had just like all kinds of, what do they call it? Like also I had melasma for a long time. Like even when I had my channel, you guys might remember a time when I had really bad melasma when I was working at this health institute. It was a very stressful time, getting attacked by the government and everything. Like, oh my God, yeah, I was like highly stressed. It was more like adrenal based probably, but so I've had many discolorations and I've gone many times to get like facials or extractions or even at one point like these like glycolic peels and like I had such a bad experience with a chemical peel. The girl put it on for 10 minutes. My skin was at an all-time like good because I wasn't having pimples, but I still had all these like marks and everything all over my face, even like crater spots. She swore it was going to help. She puts this chemical. I have an extremely high pain threshold. I don't say this to be like hooray me, but I'm super alternative and I can totally zone out during excruciating pain. I've had like chronic and crippling dysmenorrhea. I've had so many pain syndromes, like from interstitial cystitis to chronic debilitating migraines. I've had like, I don't know, just like an endless life of physical suffering. So I've had like root canals where my face was so infected, they couldn't get the anesthetic in because my face was like out to here and it was going to blow my eye out from the pressure. So they had to do the root canal, emergency style, almost septic with no anesthetic. Not because I didn't want, but because it couldn't go in. And like imagine a root canal with no anesthetic at all in the middle of a massive like abscess infection in your face. Okay. I was like traumatized. So anyway, I've had to have like surgeries without anesthesia, all kinds of stuff, like just by happenstance, like unlucky, okay? But anyway, I've had a lot of really bad pain stuff. So my tolerance for pain, though I don't freaking like it, actually I even had, this is another video I can do one day where the really weird things that have happened to me that people can't imagine, like certain insect bites that were just crazy, or like Like this would be one, like when I got a piece of, oh God, I had something under my nail. I took a toothpick, which I'm obsessed with toothpicks, and I was trying to get this like splinter thing out, and I ended up jabbing it into my nerve, almost down to the root of my nail. I was in so much pain. I had to like fly for a trip like the day before this happened. I mean, the day after this happened, I was like in excruciating pain. I get back to Montreal. I have to go to hospital. I haven't slept. It's throbbing up to my freaking ears. Like I was on my period. Your pain threshold's even lower then. It was such a freaking nightmare, you guys. Then I had to go and they had to extract off my entire nail. They took like an X-Acto knife and skinned off my freaking finger. Okay. And I had no nail for like 6 months. So crazy. Like some of the stuff I had to live crazy. That was my own fault, but regardless. And so, yeah. So basically all that just to say that that's how high my pain threshold is. So when I went to go get this facial, she left it on for 10 minutes. She told me if it starts to hurt too much to let her know. And it was like burning, but like, it didn't feel like anything excessive. Like I imagined it was just like a normal level of acid on your face, you know? Well, she comes back after 10 minutes, the alarm goes off. And then when she puts the neutralizer, whoa, my skin didn't like that. And the level of burn showed. Anyways, she ended up giving me like, I think a 2nd-degree burn or something on my face, but like very severe. Not the worst burn you can have, but like the one right before. My entire face, like was a huge oozing, pussing scab. She was horrified. It swelled like this. It was over like, I think 5 weeks it took for my face to heal. And she started to cry. She was so scared. She thought I was going to be permanently disfigured. I was so depressed. I was like, oh my God, I've just like disfigured my face. And I was working full time in a restaurant at the time. So I had to like go to my job covered in pussing, oozing scabs. Like guys, you can't even, it was the middle of like a street festival and I had to work at the time in Montreal. Like, oh my God, at a time when I already felt like so bad about myself. So yeah, I was really hardcore. But anyways, this like, I'm done with commercial and chemical things. Like from that day on, I never sought out beauty treatments through the system. That was probably a one-off, and I'm not saying people don't do well with it, but I just do all my own facials at home. I exfoliate actually with, I think it's from the company. This is weird, okay? This might not work for you. So be very careful, spot try this, because like I told you, my skin can do crazy things. But like I used to exfoliate with baking soda, which I know is like kind of a no-no, but actually my skin was really nice then and it helped with acne. But now I actually use something that I bought for my teeth that I also love for my teeth, but that works so good for your face, is Banyan Botanicals like tooth whitening powder, I think it's called. And it's just herbs. It's like amalaki and it's super bitter and like tastes like licorice. And it's like a brown kind of like powder. But I just like literally dip my finger in there and I just put a little bit after I wash my face like once a month, okay? Like I'm so lazy. And I just exfoliate for like, swear 15 seconds, not 30, not a minute. You're not going ham on your face with a whitening agent. It does not whiten at all your teeth or your face. It does not work for that. It just cleans like plaque and stains off your teeth, but it has no actual peroxide or whitening agent. So I'm not bleaching my face or anything. Like it's the same color as the rest of me. And I take sun and everything. I'm not into like ultra white faces unless that's your natural way. I like some color. But yeah, basically it just the quick exfoliation because it like scrubbies and is supposed to like take stuff off your teeth. It works really good for your face and it's kind of like an acid pH because of all of the astringency of the herbs. So it works better. And I find my face like so baby smooth after, like it gets like all the gross, like pores, like anything that's going on with my face. It just like cleans it out. I freaking love. And then I just like wash it with my regular soap and whatever. I can go into like my face routine. It's very basic, but works super, super well if you guys ever want to know that. But I basically use this weird Banyan Botanicals company teeth whitening thing on my face as an exfoliator once or twice a month. And that's literally it, okay? But like I do my own facials. Sometimes I use like a bentonite clay mask or like a red clay mask or something, but only one that's like 3 ingredients, like has no additives. And I'll put that on my face. But like seriously, maybe I do this like twice a year. And I'm being generous. Like it's probably more like once every year and a half, okay? I'm so bad with that. I only do it if my skin's looking really bad or something. Every now and then I'll do an activated charcoal mask. If I notice my skin going weird, okay, or I've eaten like so bad and I'm getting like clogged pores and stuff. Like I tend to have the, not so much these days, but like I did battle a lot with this, where I had like, what are they, like white filaments, like where your pores have like really small, not like big white filaments, but they get clogged with like oil, like my skin produces a lot of oil, you know? So using like that helps a lot, activated charcoal, and that makes like a really pretty mask as well. So I do all that stuff myself, okay? Like if I have anything going on, I do it myself. I use my own like pimple treatments, everything organic and natural at home. I just don't go get facials. Whenever they pink and poke, like I've always had breakouts or worse skin or bloating or allergic reactions, like I just, cosmetologists, dermatologists, like people playing with your face, okay? Like makeup artists, like everyone gets bad skin when they're playing around with that. So just find a routine that works for you at home and do it at home, healthier and safer. Now, the last thing we're going to talk about in this video, because this was actually way the frig longer than I thought it was going to be, but well, I talk a lot, as we know, right? We love it. We love it. We love it. We're here for the long conversations, the one-way conversation. But kefir or kefir and fermented drinks. Okay, so I don't make my own kombucha. I'm too lazy. There's a company here that makes the most mind-blowing, insane kombuchas out of flavors like Habuti Cabo, which I didn't even know what it was. It's like this very sour little grape. So good, it tastes like red wine. They make them with like guanabana, which I absolutely love the flavor of. They make like guayaba. They make like maracuya. Jamaica, which is kind of like hibiscus, I guess, or whatever. They make like pineapple ginger. It's like super bubbly, like a soft drink. So I have access to such epic, badass kombucha here. And it's so long and annoying to make. That one I never make myself, though I do have a recipe in my ebook, Fully Fermented, in my shop, or free for tribe members if you're interested in all my fermented recipes. But I make my own beet kvass. I make my own kefir. I make my own water kefir. I make my own like coconut yogurt sometimes, like coconut milk ferments. Like my own like raw soured milk, like raw milk made sour, like things like that. Okay, so I make my own fermented stuff. Apart from kombucha, I really don't like buy any pre-made fermented things, other than sometimes sauerkraut, because yeah, I'm just lazy to make it. And also they make such good sauerkraut here, like really cool ones, like turmeric sauerkraut, ginger sauerkraut. Like I just buy because it's easy, and I honestly just don't eat that much sauerkraut. But for the things I consume a lot of, like water kefir and beet kvass and things like that, and kefir, I make my own. So fermented foods is something really cool to make your own. It's so freaking easy to make your own fermented food. If you haven't tried it yet, like do try it. I remember a few years ago, I was telling my friend this actually this morning. I'm thirsty. She also works in the health space, and sometimes we, like if she's more like a nutritionist, she doesn't work with illness, but sometimes she deals with people with more serious things like MCAS or whatever, you know, like long C, like things like that. So anyways, sometimes she reaches out to me and like asks for advice and things like that, since I work more in that field. Anyways, and I was just telling her like this precise story, because she was saying that she made a recommendation to a client and they like didn't do it, and then they came back saying it didn't work, but they didn't even do it. And I was like, oh, it's very common. And I remember like with fermented foods, so many people don't try it because they're intimidated. I remember a long time ago, I was working with a guy with a condition, I'm going to say. And I put him on a specific fermented food that would be like really good for his condition, right? And his microbial shortages. And he was intimidated to do it. So he did the entire protocol. And I did a session with him again, like 2 months later. And he was like, oh my God, I'm like 90% better, but like still not there yet, you know? And I was like, really? You did everything? Like, cause the symptom he had was telling me that like, he wasn't doing the like fermented part that I told him, you know? And I'm like, you've done this thing, right? And he's like, well, that's the one thing I didn't do because I'm like intimidated to do it. And then when he finally did it, like 3 days later, his symptoms were gone. So like fermented food is so like next level, you guys. It's totally insane and crazy, badass, awesome. Like there's research coming out now that people that live over 115 years old, like longevity, the things that they're in common with them are not like community and diet. They all have different communities, different diets, different lifestyle habits, different levels of like mobility, like how much they move, different stress levels, like different day-to-day lives, different climates, different exposure to water supply. Like all of them have different completely lives, like different diets. But what they found upon autopsy with all of those long-lived people that live over 115, okay, not just a centenarian, like a next level old mofo, okay? Those people all had obscenely diverse microbiomes, like abnormally diverse microbiomes, like the best microbiomes tested, okay? Like even at a bone level, their biome was like amazing. So diverse guts equals best health ever, okay? So fermented food, they should be a part of your life, not just to like heal stuff, but because it's going to give you the best health, the best longevity. Like when I'm lazy with ferments, guys, and like, you know, my history of tons of antibiotics, 1,000,001 gut problems, health problems, like horrifying dysbiosis. Like I've had it all. Okay. Every type of SIBO, including sulfur SIBO, what a nightmare. Oh my God. I had like chronic meningitis. Like, oh my God, I had so much stuff, you guys, like nightmare. Okay. Chronic pneumonias and bronchitis and whooping coughs and every type of gut problem and endless giardia and like blasto and like all kinds of parasitic worms and like, oh my God, nightmare. Okay. My life was really not that fun. Tons of infections, chronic UTIs, like just chronic stuff. Staph on the skin, like everything wrong. At one point, C. diff. So my biome was really quite decimated, you know, from years of all kinds of stuff and having appendix removed and whatever else. Okay. So I had to do quite a bit of rebuilding, and probably my biome is still not like, you know, the best ever in the world. And I even know, but I mean, it's pretty good. Like I don't even do anything for my biome these days, and things seem to be like holding. Like I almost never get, like I don't get sick. I never get infections, like nothing like that. So, but yeah, and basically like when I do fermented food versus when I don't, the difference is insane. Okay. Like right now I'm not doing fermented food, but I'm going to start again. And I notice when I don't do fermented food, my face is a little puffier in the mornings. Like I can handle less sugar. I feel a little less happy. Like things in life like get me down more. I have more hormone swings and mood swings with my cycle, more painful cycles here and there. Just stuff, you know, like you just don't feel as amazing as when I straight up do like coconut kefir, a little bit of milk kefir, have sauerkraut with my meals, add probiotics, like, oh my God, within just a few days, I swear I look like 10 years younger. I gotta get back on it, really. I don't know, I've been so lazy. I've been like traveling, eating whatever. I'm on a bit of like a bulk now. I went through like an extremely skinny phase that was so annoying. I finally managed to get out of it and like get some like bodacious curves back, but it's taken me 9 months of dedicated effort to like gain weight. So yeah. But anyway, so fermented food is like next level. Also, if you're dealing, anyway, I'm getting into health stuff now, so let me curb it and we'll cut this video. But if you're dealing with any kind of persistent stuff, okay, in your body, whatever it is, you're probably missing the microbes that like keep that problem in check, okay? So fermented foods are like probably the most powerful thing you could ever do for your health, ever. And if you are histamine sensitive, I have so many videos in the tribe about that. I talk about it also on Instagram. You can do really tiny amounts. You can do low histamine stuff. You can start with like S. boulardii to like tone it down. You can also do fermented food, but while taking like DAO supplements. I mean, it's endless. There's many ways to like get the ferments in without having that huge reaction. I was extremely histamine sensitive, so I know. And yeah, just diving into kefir was like a nightmare for me. So you have to kind of go really slow and gentle and your body will adapt. But I really hope this video helped. I hope you guys loved it. It feels so good actually to be back and just be like sharing and talking and connecting. So definitely check out my Brit Brits channel because I'll be sharing some other stuff there. And I'm going to be on here a lot more. And if you guys are looking for more in-depth health content and things like that, check out the Wevolve Tribe. I'll put it in the link down below. And you guys can check out my shop for any products that I mentioned and stuff like that as well. I don't do one-on-one sessions. If you have health problems these days, if it's like a do or die death emergency, I might make the exception if I have time in my schedule, but running a full-time business, doing a bunch of side projects, having a music channel, working on a film with my partner right now and making like a lot of the original music for the film. I'm just like, I got stuff going on. I'm in the process of writing my second book. It's an anonymous book, but really cool. Maybe one day I'll share it on here, who knows, but it's more risque, more personal, more, you know, stuff that maybe you don't always want to associate with yourself. True story. So anyways, later at a different time, if you guys are more interested in that and you want to know more personally, then you can always like write me about that. I can, yeah, see. But yeah, so if you guys have more specific health stuff, you can always email. I'll put the email down below as well. My personal or business email, like my business personal or my business email. And let me know kind of what's going on for you or whatever. And maybe I can recommend certain videos in my platform or make specific videos for you in there that are more like disease focused, or even potentially do sessions and stuff. Like I really don't do them often though, so don't like expect that. It's something I do like twice a year, only if it's like really an emergency and really if I have the time. And the time zone is like kind of like an easy fit in with my schedule and stuff. But yeah, there are a lot of options for you. So if you are on here and you're still dealing with some health stuff, like do know that it's totally healable and there's tons of solutions, and you can message me personally and I'll help you, but not necessarily here because, well, you guys know how it is with my channel. But I love you, I love you, I love you. I'm so happy to be back. I will see you guys in the next one, and I'm wishing everybody a beautiful day. And let me know if there's any topics you want me to cover down below, like on this channel, if you guys want me to like share anything specific or anything I talked about you want more in-depth or detail. I'm super open to that. I'm still going to be making impromptu videos. I don't really know like which style of videos I'm going to be making the most for here, so you guys can let me know what you want to know about, and yeah, I'll be able to share. So talk to you soon, guys.